Green beans can look full of life in the summer garden. The vines are climbing, the leaves are green, and the flowers are opening right on time. But when those flowers keep falling away without turning into pods, it is a sign that something in the growing conditions is not working the way the plant needs. And this is where many gardeners make the same mistake. They look at the flowers and assume the harvest is already coming. But flowering is only the beginning. For green beans to set pods properly, the plant needs a right balance of temperature, moisture, pollination, soil nutrition, spacing, and timing. During hot summer weeks, even one small mistake can slow pod formation. Too much nitrogen can push leafy growth instead of beans. Inconsistent watering can stress the roots. Poor airflow can weaken flowering. High heat can reduce pollen performance. And sometimes the plant is trying to produce, but the garden conditions are quietly working against it. So do not skip this video, because each mistake we cover connects directly to why your green beans may be flowering but not producing pods before harvest. In this smart gardening video, we will walk through the top 7 summer mistakes that can stop green beans from setting pods, and more importantly, how to correct them with practical, research-based gardening steps. Before we begin, like this video if you want stronger bean harvest this season, and subscribe to the Smart Gardening channel for more interesting, research-based gardening videos that help you grow with confidence, not guesswork. Number 1 mistake is ignoring heat stress during bloom. When green beans are covered in flowers but still not forming pods, the first mistake to look at is heat stress during bloom. Many gardeners see healthy leaves and fresh blossoms and think the plant is doing fine. But green beans can be green, tall, and flowering while the reproductive part of the plant is quietly struggling. During hot summer days, especially when temperatures stay high through the afternoon and the nights do not cool down much, bean flowers may not set pods properly. The problem is not always the flower itself. Heat can reduce pollen performance, stress the plant's water balance, and make young blossoms drop before pod development begins. This is why a bean row can look beautiful in the morning, but by evening you may notice pale flowers drying, falling, or sitting on the soil with no tiny bean behind them. The important detail is timing. Green beans need steady support when they're flowering, not just after pods appear. Keep the soil evenly moist, especially during hot spells, but avoid turning the bed soggy. Water deeply at the base in the morning, so the roots can carry moisture through the hottest part of the day. A light organic mulch can also help keep soil temperatures more stable and reduce moisture loss. If your plants are blooming during a heat wave, do not judge them too quickly. Support them through the stress. Watch the next round of flowers, and you may see pod setting improve when conditions become more balanced. But heat is only one piece of this problem, because the next mistake can make the plant look even greener while producing even fewer beans. Number 2 mistake is overfeeding with nitrogen. One of the most confusing mistakes with green beans is feeding them too much nitrogen. At first, it does not look like a mistake at all. The plants may look rich, green, and vigorous. The vines may stretch quickly. The leaves may become broad, and the whole row can look healthier than the rest of the garden. But this is exactly why many gardeners miss the problem. Green beans are legumes, which means they can work with soil bacteria to capture nitrogen from the air. They still need balanced nutrition, but they usually do not need the same heavy nitrogen feeding as crops like corn or leafy greens. When too much nitrogen is added, especially after flowering begins, the plant may keep investing energy into stems and leaves instead of steady pod development. The signs can be subtle. You may see thick green foliage, long vines, plenty of flowers, but very few young beans forming behind those flowers. The plant looks productive, yet the harvest basket stays almost empty. This often happens when gardeners apply lawn fertilizer, high nitrogen liquid feed, or repeated doses of rich manure near the bean row. The fix is not to starve the plant. It is to stop pushing leafy growth and return to balance. Avoid high nitrogen fertilizers during bloom. Use compost modestly. And if your soil is poor, choose a balanced or lower nitrogen vegetable fertilizer according to label directions. Also, water consistently, because nutrients only help when roots can take them up steadily. Once the plant stops being pushed into leafy growth, the next flush of flowers has a better chance of moving toward pods. But even with the right fertilizer, another hidden mistake can still stop those flowers from becoming beans. Number 3 mistake is letting the soil swing between dry and soaked. One summer mistake that quietly interrupts pod setting is irregular watering. Green beans do not need constantly wet soil, but they do need steady moisture when flowers are opening and tiny pods are starting to form. Many gardeners water heavily after seeing dry leaves, then wait several days until the soil dries out again. From the plant's point of view, that creates a stressful cycle. First, the roots struggle in dry soil, then they sit in sudden wet conditions that can reduce oxygen around the root zone. This matters most during flowering, because the plant is trying to move water and nutrients into a very sensitive growth stage. When moisture is inconsistent, flowers may drop, tiny pods may stop developing, and the pods that do form can become smaller, curved, or stringier than expected. A simple sign is the soil itself. If the top looks dusty and the soil 2 inches down feels dry, the plant is already working harder than it should. You may also notice leaves looking slightly dull in the afternoon, flowers falling before pods appear, or young beans staying thin instead of filling out. The better approach is deep, even watering at the base of the plant, preferably in the morning. Avoid quick surface sprinkling that only wets the top layer. Mulch can help protect soil moisture, especially in raised beds and sandy soil. The goal is not to flood the bean row. The goal is consistency. Once the roots receive steady support, the plant can put more energy into turning flowers into pods. But even with perfect watering, flowers still need one more thing to complete the process. Number 4 mistake is crowding the plants until the flowers are shaded. Sometimes green beans fail to set pods not because the plant is weak, but because the row has become too crowded for flowers to work properly. This mistake often starts with good intentions. A gardener plants extra seeds, thinking more plants will mean more beans. At first, the bed looks successful. The seedlings fill in quickly, the leaves overlap, and the row turns into a thick wall of green. But by flowering time, that crowded growth can create its own problems. The lower blossoms may sit in shade. Air movement slows inside the plant canopy. Moisture stays longer on leaves after watering or humid nights. And instead of each plant having enough light, root space, and breathing room, the whole row begins competing with itself. In summer, this matters even more because dense foliage can trap heat around the flowers during the hottest part of the day. The signs are easy to overlook. You may see plenty of leaves, but most flowers are hidden inside the vines. You may find fallen blossoms under the canopy, small pods forming only on the outside edges, or leaves staying damp long after the rest of the garden has dried. The fix is to create space without shocking the plants. Thin, weak, or overcrowded seedlings early. Keep pole beans trained upward on a trellis. For bush beans, leave enough room between rows so you can see light reaching the lower leaves. Remove weeds that are stealing airflow around the base. A bean plant does not need to look like a jungle to be productive. It needs enough open structure for flowers, roots, and leaves to function together. And once spacing is corrected, the next mistake becomes easier to spot. Number 5 mistake is blaming bees while ignoring flower conditions. A common mistake with green beans is assuming that flowers without pods always mean there are not enough bees. Pollinators are valuable in the garden, but green beans are mostly self-pollinating. That means many flowers can fertilize themselves without needing heavy insect activity. So when a plant is blooming but not setting pods, the real question is often not, where are the bees? The better question is, are the flowers healthy enough to complete the process? Summer conditions can interrupt that delicate stage. High heat, dry wind, uneven moisture, or stress roots can cause flowers to shed before a tiny pod begins to swell. Sometimes a flower opens, looks normal for a short time, then drops cleanly from the stem. Other times, you may see blossoms hanging on the vine, but no small bean forming behind them. This is where careful observation matters. Look at the whole planting area. Are the flowers exposed to extreme afternoon heat? Is the soil drying quickly? Are nearby flowering weeds or ornamentals drawing most insect activity away from the vegetable bed? Is the bean canopy too dense for air and light to reach the blossoms? The fix is not to force pollination by touching every flower. Instead, improve the conditions around the flowers. Keep moisture steady. Avoid spraying pesticides during bloom. remove competing weeds, and grow small pollinator-friendly flowers nearby when space allows. Green beans do not need a noisy garden to produce, but they do need a stable flowering environment. And even when flowers are setting properly, the next mistake can still reduce the harvest before the pods reach picking size. Number 6 mistake is ignoring tiny pest pressure during flowering. Some green bean problems are easy to see, like yellow leaves or dry soil, but pest pressure during flowering can be much quieter. This is why many gardeners miss it until the harvest already looks weak. The plant may still bloom, the vines may still climb, and from a distance the row may look normal. But when tiny insects are feeding around flowers, tender leaves, or young pods, the plant has to spend energy defending and repairing instead of smoothly developing beans. Thrips can hide inside blossoms. Aphids may gather on soft new growth. Spider mites often build up during hot, dry weather and leave pale speckling under the leaves. Bean beetles can chew the foliage and sometimes damage young pods. None of these problems always ruin a crop, but if they build up during bloom, they can reduce pod quality and weaken the plant's momentum. The signs are small at first. Look for curled new leaves, sticky residue, silver or brown marks on flowers, tiny moving insects inside blossoms, fine webbing under leaves, or small chewing holes across the foliage. The best fix is early observation. Check the undersides of leaves in the morning. Remove badly infested leaves if the problem is limited. Spray aphids off with water. Use insecticidal soap only when needed and according to label, and avoid spraying during active flowering when beneficial insects are visiting. Also remove weedy hiding places around the bean row. A healthy bean harvest often depends on noticing small problems before they become large ones. And the final mistake is one gardeners often make right when the pods finally begin to appear. Number 7 mistake is waiting too long to pick the first pods. The final mistake happens right when the gardener thinks a problem is almost solved. After days of waiting, the first green bean pods finally appear, and many people leave them on the plant a little longer, hoping they will get bigger. But with snap beans, bigger does not always mean better. Once pods begin to mature too far, the plant starts putting more energy into developing seeds inside those pods. That can slow the push for new flowers and reduce the steady harvest that green beans are known for. This mistake is especially common after a slow start, because gardeners feel like every pod is precious. They hesitate to pick the first beans, thinking they are protecting the harvest. In reality, regular picking often supports continued production, especially on healthy pole beans and actively growing bush beans. The signs are easy to see if you look closely. Young pods are firm, smooth, and tender, with seeds that are still small inside. Overmature pods look swollen, uneven, duller in color, or slightly tough when bent. If you leave too many of those older pods hanging, the plant receives a signal that seed development is already underway. The better habit is to check the plants often during harvest season, especially in warm weather when pods can size up quickly. Pick gently with 2 hands, so you do not tear vines or break flower clusters. Harvest in the morning when pods are crisp, and remove oversized beans so the plant can keep focusing on fresh growth. A good green bean harvest is not only about getting flowers, it is about picking at the right moment, again and again.